Good evening and welcome here to qualifying for Rockingham for round 2 on the schedule for the Sony Cup Series. Cars are already out on the track for group qualifying session number 1. If you're not familiar with how qualifying is for the group qualifying for this for the Sony Cup Series, half the field goes out in one session, half the field goes out in another. Top 18 gets in on speed, and the fastest driver in whichever duel, not whichever session, may I say, will win the pole. So if the fastest driver in duel, or I keep saying duel, this is not Daytona, but the fastest guy in session 1 or whoever is the fastest driver overall will be your pole sitter. And you see cars already out on the racetrack. DJ Curtis, defending champion. He was very fast all last year. It's going to be interesting to see how he does in 2018 when it comes to finding speed on the racetrack. And this is really going to be the first true test for every driver and all the teams. 51 teams attempting to make Rockingham, so that means 9 drivers will be sent to the house. Luis Hernandez is one of those drivers on the gotta-go list, and he's out on the racetrack now. We're going to pay close attention to the time on the right side. You'll see Josh Crash is currently the fastest driver. However, not all the drivers have went out. And we're going to see Dejon Weeks. He's out on the racetrack. The Sony Shootout winner. He was fast at Daytona. And he's out on the track. He's looking to be a team leader for Yamp Motorsports for 2018. He was a great Rookie of the Year contender all last year. And looking to be a winner in the Sony Cup Series. PJ Williams struggled at Daytona. However, he did come away with a solid finish because he was able to finish the race. He's one of those drivers he barely made the race at Daytona. He had to use a provisional to get in. Williams and Jeffrey Lynn are the only drivers that actually got charged for using a provisional at Daytona. So a lot of drivers are hoping they don't have to be charged for a provisional. And Williams on the track is going to more than likely have to pick it up. That's a pretty slow lap, 25th overall, and 26 cars have already went out. So all 26 drivers are out on the track. Top 18 advance. Collins is right now in, but we're going to expect people to possibly pick up. However, tire wear falls off tremendously, so we're expecting the fastest laps to be early on. And Sean Harple is 17th on the board. Our fastest driver, it's a 10-minute sessions all around, so the video is probably going to be about 20 minutes, a little over 20 minutes long. Harple is out. He's the bubble driver right now. Dylan Young is the fastest driver overall for... Actually, never mind. No, he is not. The defending champion. Never mind. The top of the board keeps changing lap after lap. Josh Crash is currently the fastest. However, he's held up by a big pack of cars. And Jeffrey Finguy is actually on the outside looking in speed. Right now, the bubble driver is Nick Mace in the 18th position. 2382 is what you got to run. 2394 for Finguy that last lap. DJ Curtis currently in the 5th position. Turner 9th. Brock's going to have to pick it up. 2382. Actually, Mace just picked up. 2380 is what you got to run. And he almost got there. Brock almost was there. Nick Mace actually pretty slow in this qualifying session. 2379. Mace has never really been a big driver in qualifying. He got lucky and got a pole at Dover. Let's see what he runs here. He's been trying to pick up. Does not pick up on that lap. So the bubble driver is Stephen Pollard III, who kind of really needs to make this race. He did not qualify into the Daytona 500, and they keep getting bumped out now. Some drivers are bumping their way in. Pollard III bumped out. Mace is bumped out. And you see, there he is again. Mace trying to come back to the line to pick up. He does not. Luis Hernandez needs to pick up or he will be sent to the house. He has no owner points. Matthew Rodriguez sitting in 8th. Collins is doing all right. Jack Porkins, a rookie in the Hardee's National Series, trying to make his Cup debut. He does not pick up. Allen looks as like he can possibly qualify his way in. He's 15th right now. Johnny Gardner's going to have to pick up if he wants to make it. PJ Williams with a good qualifying run right now. He's in 5th place. Dejon Weeks in 4th. Young, Dodd, Smith are all relatively high on the board. Sean Harple is in third. So a good run for the Athenian cars in qualifying. Josh Crash is still currently the fastest with a 23.448. He's trying to win the pole. It's a good run for the Fingai Saitomi Motorsports team. For them to be that quick. Jeffrey Lynn's still on the bubble with a 23.791. He does not pick up. The driver's trying to bump Jeffrey Lynn out. Nick Mace, Stephen Pollard III, Jeffrey Fingai, Luis Hernandez, Johnny Gardner, Jack Porkins, Milton Campbell, and Hayden Klein. Klein would get in off a past champions provisional if he needed it. So would Mace if Mace truly needed it. However, I think he'll use a provisional to get in. Mace is still looking to pick up. Klein off the pace. He is still dead last after coming off a good run at Daytona. More than likely going to have to use a past champions provisional again. And he doesn't really want to use up all his past champions provisionals early on. Jake Bassinger in the 11th position. We're going to see what Fingai runs. His teammate and the rookie driver on the team is on the pole. And Fingai can't even jump back up. He needs to pick something up. You can see from Lynn with a 7.9. There's a big... Everyone's so close. Hernandez is in 22nd, and he's only 0.05 of a second off. So these drivers are trying to pick up something. Hoffman is in right now. He's trying to pick up. Can't do it. And Fingai can't quite get it. Bassinger can't either. And it looks like right now, Josh Crash is the favorite to win the pole. However, the poll is decided on who is the fastest driver in the session. So the fastest driver in this session may not be faster than the driver in the other session. So whoever is the fastest of these sessions, if session 1 driver of the fastest driver in it is faster than session 1's driver, then they will win the pole. It's a little complicated system, but sure you guys will get used to it. Harple having a good run. He won a dual race at Daytona. Didn't quite get the finish he wanted. He wrecked it pretty early on. However, this team has high hopes for this year that they'll be able to do something. However, the drivers on the outside looking at it have not changed whatsoever. And Brock is in. Hernandez still can't pick up. Sidner's actually close to the bubble as well. Finguy's been trying to bump his way in. The difference of making it in on time right now is 5/1000ths of a second. Jeffrey Lynn is in. Nick Mace is out, which is really surprising to me that Nick Mace is not getting in on speed. He's trying to bump his way in. However, Nick Mace seems more focused on a race trim run as he's been out there for a long while. A lot of these drivers have made a bit of laps, though. Stephen Pollard III trying to bump his way in. I don't think he'll be able to get in on provisional. He might be able to get in on a provisional. I don't know if it would go as far back as how far he is. However, you got drivers like Hernandez, Gardner, and Campbell. There's no way they'll be able to get in. They have no owner points, so they have to pick up speed. Gardner... It's one of those drivers we said, Jack Porkins, that CM Racing team may actually get a provisional. I think it's 36 in points. I still don't think that's going to be good enough. Gonna have to see, though. Rodriguez in 8th. Collins in 10th, a pretty solid run. So it doesn't look quite like anyone's going to be able to knock Josh Crash off the pole. And we're seeing if the time, see, time's clicking away. Collins, it's not going to do it. Rodriguez, not going to do it. Lester, not going to do it. Gardner, not going to be able to do it. And the time is complete. That is it for for qualifying. Curtis is going to end up being second to Josh Crash. How about that for Josh Crash? 23.448. He is on the current pole. Now, if the fastest driver in Session 2 runs faster than a 23.448, then they will win the pole. However, if they do not, Josh Crash will be your pole sitter for round 2. What a run for Josh Crash. All of these drivers are going to be lining up on the inside line. However, if Josh Crash, if his lap is not faster than the fastest guy in Session 2's lap, then Josh Crash will be starting second. However, all of these drivers that qualified in the top 18, they will be lining up on the inside line. You'll see Josh Crash possibly on the pole, then it's DJ Curtis in second, Sean Harple in third. Great run for the Athenian cars in this session. They're third and fifth. Dejon Weeks getting fourth, his teammate Dylan Young in sixth. Chris Dodd having a great run, his teammate behind him, they're seventh and eighth. Jesse Turner ninth. Kyle Collins squeaking out a top 10 in this session, he's 10th. Jake Bassinger in 11th. Casey Lester in 12th. Charlie Smith, he gets the car in the show, he's 13th. William Brock 14th. Caleb Hoffman 15th. 16th for Andreas Allen. He'll make the race, and he'll make his first start of his last season in the Sony Cup Series. Garrett Center, the pole sitter of Daytona, he'll start 17th. And Jeffrey Lynn will get the last spot to get in on speed. Then Nick Mace, not fast enough to make the fastest 18. He'll have to rely on a provisional to get in the field. That is not like Nick Mace. 19th on the board and 20th, Stephen Pollard III. He might be able to use a provisional. We're not sure. Jeffrey Finguy will use a provisional to get in. Luis Hernandez will go home for a second week in a row. Hayden Klein will more than likely will use a past champions provisional if no one else has to use it. Johnny Gardner will be sent to the house. Jack Porkins will have to wait and see if that car is good enough to owner points. And Milton Campbell will be sent to the house as we get set for the session number 2. Session number 2 is underway. 25 cars will roll off to give their shot at the pole, and some drivers will give it their shot to make the field. Top 18 are in, and a 23.448 is the time to beat for the pole. Josh Crash currently has it as many drivers begin to roll off. However, Dom Cap's still on pit road making some final adjustments before he rolls off and gives it his attempt. Dom Cap's defending race winner of this series, won the Daytona 500, capping off a great start of the season. He is your current current point leader heading into this race, obviously, since he won the first round. A great run for him out at Daytona. After finishing second 6 times last year, he has got a lot of motivation starting into this season to do very well, and a lot of momentum on his side. Jeff James failed to qualify for Daytona. He's looking to change that at Rockingham, starting up his own race team. Charlie Smith qualified his way in at Daytona, and he also qualified his way in for Rockingham. Jeff James will be looking to do that here. He did not make Daytona, like we said, and that was quite an upset for him not to. Doug Lockrow was very, very close to racing his way in to the Daytona 500. However, it was not meant to be. The same race car that took to the track at Daytona, that is it right there, that 85 car, and he's out there trying to make the field. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure as Jeff James pulls away from him off turn 2. Dylan Schwallenberg in 6th place right now, trying to make the race as well. He has no owner points to fall back on, so he's going to have to get after it. James Sorafox attempting this race as well. He's on a part-time schedule. However, drivers like Martin and Johnson that were in a one-off attempt for part-time racing, along with James Shelley, they're not here, and they're not attempting Rockingham. However, James Sorafox is, and he's going to have to pick it up, it looks like, because he is dropping in down the board. The Athenian Motorsport cars are really showing some speed. However, I think they're going to have to go faster than what they are to get the pole, because look at that. Levi Pascoe was fastest right there for a second. However, Cody Lamas jumps up past him. Lamas goes to the top of the board with a 23.66. That is nowhere near what Josh Crash run in the session beforehand. And James Sorafox jumps up. He's 23.64 is the fastest time in this session. However, he is about 2/10 off of Josh Crash. Jordan Davis, he's currently 9th. Cole Deaver is in 22nd. This team is going to need to find some speed, find some way to get inside the top 18 to make the field, because that team has no owner points. Solarfox still the fastest driver out there. Then it's Dom Capps, Cody Lamas, Steven Jenkins, Levi Pascoe, the top 5. Everyone has made a timed lap so far. Silver Fox trying to improve on his lap time. Almost did it, but couldn't quite get there. Charles Sanford, however, mimicking Silver Fox's line, goes to second place. Jumps up just in front of Dom Caps. As we're closing in on halfway in this session, I'm going to look down here at the bubble spot, and it is TJ Martin in the 34, who is right now on the bubble mark. And there he is getting past. Eric DeMax gets put on the bubble now. TJ Martin outside looking in. And now DeMax gets bumped down. As some drivers are trying to bump their way in. As you can see here, Bradley Bishop Jr. is the final guy on speed right now. Eric DeMax trying to make it in on speed. It's surprising me that some of these Mace Enterprises cars are not up to speed as much as the other ones. However, Eric DeMax is still a rookie trying to get used to the horsepower and the handling of these Cup cars. He is 19th. That car is good enough to get in on a provisional. However, it's not quite like the Mace Enterprises cars to not have enough speed to get in. Jenkins, 5th. Griffin's not in. I just noticed that. Griffin is 21st. So Ryan Griffin is struggling to find speed. Jeff James is flirting with the bubble. He has no owner points. Would have to make it in on speed if he wants to race on Sunday. TJ Martin needing to pick it up. Bradley Bishop Jr. behind him needing to pick it up. They do not pick up their lap. Jordan Fisher in 14th. Carson Scott in 9th. Zachary Fitzwater in 11th. James Silverfox still the fastest guy. However, not fast enough to beat Josh Crash. Josh Crash has a very good lap right now. And looks as though Josh Crash could be the pole sitter for round 2. Which is very surprising to me that a rookie like Josh Crash can just go out there and lay down a blistering fast lap. Top 2 are right here, nose to tail. Cole Deaver, not able to pick up. He's way off his fastest lap. Sean Perkins is in 16th. Not a good lap for Perkins right now. Jeff James still 17th. Eric Burton in the 7th position. Ryan Acosta 10th. Schwellenberg good enough to get in on speed. 15th right now. Bobby Jones in 12th. Zayden Davidson in 13th. Jenkins in 5th, like we said. Dom Caps in 3rd. But these guys, DeMax, Martin, Griffin, Pericles, Bunnell, Deaver, and Lockrow needing to find something. And the speeds are so close. The bubble is separated by 2 1/1000ths of a second. And DeMax and Martin are actually tied for that spot. DeMax trying to find something. However, DeMax is good. I'm not sure about the 34 of TJ Martin. He might be alright in owner points. Can't quite get it. Gonna look and see if anyone's actually... Dom Caps just picked up a whole lot. A 23.48. He just picked up right at the line. However, that is still not good enough to knock off Josh Crash. 23.44 is the time. And Caps digging underneath of DeMax, trying to get back to the line, seeing if he can pick up. 23.46 picks up again. However, 0.02 of a second off. See if he can't pick up again. This is fighting for the pole. Dom Caps has a lot of momentum on his side coming into Rockingham. For Martin Motorsports, he's almost picked up like the team leader as Jeff James stepped away. 0.2 off of that lap. Doesn't look like he's going to possibly get it. He's already burnt the tires off. However, looking back here again, 2 1/1000ths of a second is separating DeMax and Martin from Bradley Bishop Jr. So we look here at some guys. Bunnell, I don't think he'll be able to get in. Bunnell had a terrible wreck in the Hardee's National Series. However, he walked away from it. And here he is attempting in the Cup race. And he'll be attempting the Hardee's National Series as well. He's been known to have some crazy wrecks in his career. He flipped at Las Vegas in the National Series last year as well. And DeMax coming back to the line. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to quite do it. Griffin, however, still not able to pick up. It's surprising to me that Ryan Griffin is as low as he is. Ryan Griffin didn't really qualify as well. He had to start out back and have to make a recovery this race last year. And he finished in the top 10, so I wouldn't count Ryan Griffin out. He knows how to get around Rockingham. So he goes underneath of Carson Scott. Give it one last attempt to try and pick up, and he slows down by a bit. As we look here, Bishop Jr. still in by 2/1000ths of a second. That's just by an inch on the racetrack. Just an inch, just to be able to get on the ice, just a very, slightly ahead of everyone else. I think that is it for qualifying in this session. We're going to see they're still allowing times to come in, so the time is still ticking down. Perkins can't pick up there. Lockrow, he'll be sent to the house. So will Deaver. And Acosta don't pick up. Bonnell to the line. He'll probably be the last one. And he doesn't pick up. And Martin doesn't either. So, the guys on the outside will be Eric DeMax, TJ Martin, Ryan Griffin, Nick Piericles, John Bunnell, Cole Deaver, and Doug Lockrow. Those are the guys that did not get in on speed. And they're going to have to hope, some of them hope that they get in on a provisional. However, Dom Capps did not beat Josh Crash in speed. Capps will start on the outside of the front row. Josh Crash wins the pole for Rockingham. Here is the finishing results from qualifying in Session 2. Dom Capps not quite fast enough to beat Josh Crash's speed from the Session 1. So Dom Capps will start second. Josh Crash wins the pole for Rockingham. Great job to that team for Fengai Satomi Motorsports. And Josh Crash, the rookie, being on the pole. 2 weeks in a row, a rookie will lead us down to start the race. So, and it's just similar to the race at Daytona. You have Richard Johnson in the outside front row, and another veteran of Dom Capps will be on the outside of another rookie. So this pretty great storylines. But all of the top 18 drivers will start on the outside line. Come Rockingham, Dom Capps will be first in this session. Then it's Jordan Davis. Had a good run. James Silverfox third. Charles Sanford fourth. Cody Lamas fifth. Steven Jenkins right there around where his teammates were in speed. The Athenia Motorsports cars have some pretty fast hot rods in these Chevys. They seem like the best Chevys, to be honest. I mean, in overall speed, they're all together inside the top 10 in the sessions. However, Mason to Max struggling on speed. The Athenian cars, they were fast with Pasco. Pasco was really quick here in the fall. They could surprise some people. 7th and 8th for Pasco and Burton. Scott in 9th. Acosta in 10th. Fitzwater in 11th. Bobby Jones gets 12th. Zayden Davidson qualifies his way in 13th. 14th for Jordan Fisher. Dylan Schwellenberg qualifies his car in. He'll be 15th. Sean Perkins, 16th. Jeff James will make his first start of the season. He qualifies 17th and 18th. And the final guy to get in on speed by 2/1000ths of a second, Bradley Bishop Jr. gets the final spot to get in on speed. And then these drivers, Eric DeMax will have to use a provisional to get in. TJ Martin will have to wait and see if he gets in on a provisional. Ryan Griffin, he'll have to use a provisional to get in. So will Nick Piericles. John Bunnell, Cole Deaver, and Doug Lockrow will be sent to the house. And with that, we'll send you the starting grid for Rockingham for round 2.